us what, if anything, Democrats can do to stop the president. I'm joined by Democratic Senator Richard Blumenthal of Connecticut, a member of the Judiciary Committee. Is this the flagrant power play that it appears to be in your mind?
It is a break the glass moment, an attack on our democracy, and it should precipitate exactly the kind of firestorm that we saw in the wake of the Saturday night massacre under Richard Nixon. It is, in effect, a slow motion Saturday night massacre. And the reason that they are doing it in this slow motion way is to avoid that uproar and uprising that I think now my Republican colleagues have an obligation to show. So first point, he must recuse himself. Whitaker has not only demonstrated hostility to this investigation, he's also provided a roadmap for strangling the funds that are necessary for it. Ultimately, the Congress has the power of the purse, and the Democratic victories just last night demonstrate that the American public wants checks on this kind of abuse and overreach. So my Democratic colleagues and I on the Senate Judiciary Committee and on the House Judiciary Committee should press for an investigation and for legislation. I'm going to be proposing legislation that will stop the defunding or cuts in funding for the special counsel and also require a report. So all of those thumb drives that were referred to earlier are made public through a report prepared by the special counsel. Even better, indictments and charges brought by the special counsel, which he may be on the verge of doing.
I want to play for you what the Chuck Schumer, who, of course, is the minority leader in the Senate, had to say on this today. Take a listen.
We would hope, if there's a constitutional crisis, that our Republican colleagues would join us in thwarting the president from creating that crisis. We'll see.
I just want to say there are people who are watching that clip and they are screaming at the television, have you not been paying attention for the last 2 years?
And they are right to be screaming at the television, and they're right to be screaming at our Republican colleagues. They have a constitutional duty, which they have been avoiding. They have been succumbing to the apparent political advantage of avoiding this crisis. But there's a reason that the president waited until after the midterms to fire this attorney general. He knew how deeply unpopular it would be.
Right.
And my Republican colleagues have to recognize they are going down a very, very dangerous path here.
Well, what do you mean by that?
Well, they're embarked on a policy of undermining the rule of law, thwarting the will of the American people. The American people want this investigation to be completed fairly and fully. And the special counsel is just finishing a kind of quiet period, which everyone expected before the midterms. There are reports and reasons to believe that he may be on the verge of indicting some of the president's closest associates, maybe even members of his family. So those indictments will speak louder than any of our words. And I think that the special counsel has always been one step ahead of the rest of us. He has prepared for this moment. It is a break the glass moment, and I'm hoping that all of my colleagues will rise to the occasion.
All right, Senator Richard Blumenthal, thank you for being with me tonight.
Thank you.
Coming up, he is... Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.